Hey, that's what I'm talking about. Come in here with a 96%. Yes, congratulations. Hey, good evening. Good evening, everybody. This is Work It Out Wednesday. I am Nurse C, a blessed RN, your neighborhood registered nurse slash orthopedic nurse slash dosage calc tutor slash patient transporter. How y'all doing tonight? It's so cool to see you and study with you. And congratulations again on passing your dosage exam with a 96%. That's awesome. I'm so proud of you. I know you must feel awesome to have that behind you now. Must be, must be. Yes. So y'all do me a favor. Those who are new here, hey, I'm Carlita Nursey, and I'm glad you're here with me. Y'all let me know what program you're in. Are you LPN, RN, BSN, Associate, Accelerated? What you got going on? And y'all don't have that screen for me. Let's get the likes up. Let's let everybody know that we're studying tonight. Okay. If you are new here, just know that you can review the replay. So after we get done, because we're live on YouTube right now. Hey, YouTube. So once we get done, it will be on my YouTube channel, same handle, A Blessed RN, and then you can review those questions on there. There are also questions that are categorized by playlist of dimensional analysis, ratio and proportion, and desired over half. So you can look on those for other resources, okay? How y'all doing? It's the middle of the week. I know I did a check-in on Monday to see how y'all was doing because I didn't come on Sunday. And we made it to the middle of the week. Look at us. Look at you. Look at you. I hope y'all have told your cohorts, your favorite nursing friend, whoever, that we are doing pediatric dosage tonight. So what is it about pediatric safe dose that has everybody in a chokehold? I'm anxious to know because that's all I get. Those safe dose, safe dose, safe dose, safe dose. Like, what is it about these children that get you hemmed up? Just got on leaving from Wednesday night service. Okay, Wednesday night service. Yes. Yes, yes. How you doing, Jay Chantel? So what is it about the peds problems? I don't know. But we here to get these little children in order. So I have I will do some other problems after we get done with the pediatrics. I just kind of wanted to do a session that was focused on peds because a lot of people ask me about peds. So we need to do some IVs, some weight based, some whatever afterwards. Just put it down in the comments and let me know, okay? All right. I thank y'all for your support, for your likes and your referrals and your kind words, your comments, your engagement. I appreciate you supporting my platform as I support you. I really do appreciate it. Alrighty, let's do TikTok Studios. And if you're ready, I'll be ready. So yeah, before we get started, y'all make sure y'all double tap that screen for me and share it so we can let everybody know that we are studying tonight. Work It Out Wednesday. Nurse C, a blessed RN. Appreciate it. What? All right. So, these god dog on dreaded peds questions. All right. So the deal with pediatric safe dose. We're not going to be nurses, okay? We're not going to be nurses. No. We're going to be detectives. Because just like we don't do math here, we solve puzzles, okay? Yes, yes. Okay. So, with these problems, what we want to do is find what is safe and acceptable therapeutic to give to the patient. So, I know usually when you read a problem, they'll give you what the doctor or prescriber, PA, MP, whoever has ordered. and then they'll tell you what the safe dose range is, okay? The safe dose range is going to be, usually it'll tell you the max number. Hey, Nurse Kevin, how you doing, my guy? Nurse Kevin, that's your NCLEX guy. That's your critical nurse questions, your thinking questions, your implementation and delegation and prioritization. That's the guy who you need. Yes, him there. Y'all go follow him. So back to what I was saying real quick was that those two numbers are going to be the lower limit and it's going to be the upper limit. So that is what we are going to be calling the safe zone. Okay. So once you find the safe zone, that's the first thing you're going to do. You're not going to look at the weight. You're not going to touch the weight. A lot of people just want to say, oh, I know that 1 pound, 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. So I'm going to go ahead and divide it by 2.2. Don't touch it. That's another step. And my mantra, my motto is the less steps that you take, the less mistakes you are likely to make. Okay, so the first thing we are going to do after we read the problem is to find that safe zone. Once you find the safe zone, then you take what's in the order, and we'll break down the parts of the order and what sense does that make and how they matter. Okay. All right. So let's do this first one. The provider has ordered drug A 8.5 milligrams to be administered orally each day in 2 divided doses. Okay. That's the order. The safe dose range is 4 to 8 milligrams per kilogram per day by mouth, divided 2 to 3 times per day. Okay. So, hey, Navy Vet 88. All right. The patient weighs 6 pounds and 4 ounces. What is the safe dose range? It is the prescribed amount safe. Okay. So, remember, we're not going to look at this weight right now. We're going to use it in the problem, but we're not going to touch it. Actually, this one we're going to touch because, look, I want that back real quick. This got a 6 pounds, 4 ounce. You know that you can't convert pounds and ounces to kilograms. It's got to be all in pounds. So therefore, you're going to have to change this part to pounds too and add it to your 6 pounds. So we know that 1 pound is 16 ounces, right? So if we're looking for pounds, we'll do 1 pound is 16 ounces, and we've got 4 ounces and over 1, and it'll cross out. So that's 4 over 16. Is that 0.25? I think it is. I believe it is. Let me check it out. Let's see. 4 divided by 6. Yeah, it is. Okay. So then you take that 0.25 and you add it to your 6 pounds. So our new weight is going to be 6.25 pounds. All right. So on that one, you did have to do something to the weight, but I'm not putting it all the way down. Ooh, it's a spider on my wall. Oh my gosh. It's a big spider too, y'all. Okay. So it's right there. Come get it. Ah! I know. Oh my goodness. Okay. All right. I'm gonna be okay. Thank you. I'm finna come clean it up. All right. Okay. Okay. I can focus now. All right. I can focus now. All right, so the safe dose is 4 to 8 milligrams per kilogram per day. All right, so we need to find out our safe zone. So that 4 milligrams per kilogram per day is the least that they can get. The 8 is going to be the most that they can get. So we need to find the least first. So we'll do 4 milligrams per kilogram per day. Okay, and then we have our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. It was making a spider web. I'm sorry, y'all. I'm sorry. I'm distracted. It's a spider. I'm so sorry. Thank you. All right. So, all right. Whew, kilograms have crossed out. Okay. So now we have pounds on the bottom. So we'll put our patient's weight. So 6.25 pounds. All right. So boom, boom. So that's going to give you how many milligrams per day. Okay. So we can do, I don't know if you have not been here before, but around here we don't use paper. We do our problems and we keep it all in the calculator. Okay. So that prevents you from having a long number and having to re-enter it into the calculator and then not putting numbers in right or whatever, what have you. Okay. So we'll do 4 times 6.25 divided by 2.2. So you do all of your numbers across the top, multiply. So 4 times 1 times 6.25. Once you get to that 6.25, you hit your divide button. And then all your values on the bottom, you hit divide in between. So the ones I don't include because they don't make a difference. So it'll be divided by 2.2. Then I hit the equal sign one time. So I got 11.36. Okay. I don't know. Different programs require different rounding rules. So on this live, I just include the first 2 decimals. But if you know how to round and you want to say, oh, that's 11.4 or 11.36, hey, that's however HESI, ATI, your professor, my professor, whoever is going to pass you tells you to do it, that's what you do, okay? So that's milligrams per day. Now we need to find out the most that they can have. So that'll be 8 milligrams per kilogram per day times 1 kilogram because we're crossing out what we don't need. All right, so that's gone. And then we'll do 6.25 pounds over 1. That's gone. So we'll do the same thing. 8 times 6.25 divided by 2.2. And that's going to be 22.72 milligrams per day. Okay, so our safe zone is 11.36 to 22.72 milligrams in the entire day. Okay. This right here is one dose. So it says 8.5 milligrams is to be administered each day in 2 divided doses. So this is the whole thing for the whole day, but it has to be divided into 2 doses. So this amount is a whole day as well, okay? So some problems ask you for the dose and some ask you for the day, okay? So this is what we need to see if it fits right here. Okay, this is our safe zone. So anything at or in between these 2 numbers is safe. Okay, so if it's less than 11.36 and it's more than 22.72, it's considered not safe. So if we are to give 8.5 milligrams every day, but the safe dose is 11.36 to 22.72, is this considered a safe dose? That spider threw me off, y'all. I ain't gonna even lie. Like, whoo, is this a safe dose? I get an answer in 3, 2, 1. No, it is not safe. Right, Gabs? Okay, 96%. No, it's not safe because it's not at or in between those 2 numbers. This is your safe zone. If it's not in there, then it's not safe. All right? Boom. So it is not safe. Let's do another one. All right. So patient who weighs 7 kilograms has been prescribed drug T 100 milligrams every 4 to 6 hours by mouth for fever. The recommended dosage range is 10 to 15 milligrams per kilogram per dose. Calculate the safe dose range and determine if the prescribed dose is safe. Okay, so safe dose range is going to be This right here, right? And then our patient's weight is already in kilograms. So we'll do 10 milligrams per kilogram per dose. You see that says dose on it this time, right? So this is not the whole amount for the day. It's just for one dose. Then we'll do 7 kilograms. It's not with anything. It's just 7 kilograms. Put it over 1. Kilograms cross out. So now this is going to tell you how many milligrams per dose that you can give. So that's going to be 70 milligrams per dose. So that's the least amount. Now we got to figure out the most. So 15 milligrams per kilogram per dose times 7 kilograms over 1. Kilograms crosses out. This will give you milligrams per dose. So 15 times 7, it's going to be 105 milligrams per dose. Okay, so our safe dose range is 70 to 105 milligrams per dose. All right, this is the safe zone. So this is safe. Now we go back to the order. Okay. It is 100 milligrams. So that is one dose right here. This is just one dose every 46 hours. So we got 100 milligrams that's been ordered. Is this a safe? Okay, Cinnamon Spice, it is safe. I couldn't get it out fast enough. You already got it on there. Yes, it is safe. But does everybody understand why it is safe? So the first step that you take is to find the safe zone. That's what we did. You use your safe zone, your safe dose range, and you set up your formulas. You cross everything out. You use your weight because this is a weight-based problem. So you cross everything out, and they'll tell you milligrams on the top, dose on the bottom. That's going to be milligrams per dose. If it was milligrams per day, then it'll be milligram on the top, day on the bottom. So that's what you have for your safety net. What is safe? Then you go back to this part and figure out, does it fit in here? If it fits in the safe zone, it's safe. If it's outside, it's not. So y'all, what about these frustrate you or get you confused? Can you use dimensional analysis for any dosage calculation? Yes, you can. And you use it the exact same way. You figure out what it's asking you, and then you find like your relationships or the elements that's in the problem. Like one day is 24 hours, 1 hour, 60 minutes. You have how many milligrams per milliliter. I put those to the side, and then it's like a puzzle. You cross everything out except for what it is that you're looking for, which is your goal. Jazzy, you made it! Yay! I'm so excited. That's the second person that's come on tonight who's passed their dosage calc. Yay! I'm so excited. Okay. All right. So, yes. Awesome. Congratulations. I was doing an IV flow rate in class today, and it was kind of funky, but dimensional analysis helps. Yes. And then you don't have to learn formulas either. Okay. Let's do another safe dose. Y'all still have not told me about what it is about these safe doses that's got y'all. Like, I really want to know. I really, really, really want to know. Like, I'm not being funny. I'm not being demeaning. I just really want to know, like, what is the confusing part on here so that in the future, that me as a tutor, I can make it better. You know what I'm saying? All right. So doctors order Dig 0.85 milligrams daily for a child that weighs 16 pounds. A safe dosage for this medicine is 8 to 12 micrograms per kilogram per day. Is this a safe dosage for this child? Okay, so this is your safe dose range. Okay, and what's the patient's weight? 16 pounds. It don't have any ounces or anything funky like that, so we're not going to touch it. All right, so we'll set it up. We'll do our lowest amount, which is 8 micrograms per kilogram per day. Okay, our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll do our conversion. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Kilograms crosses out, and then we have 16 pounds over 1. Pounds crosses out, and now you're left with microgram per day. Picking out the fluff sometimes gets me confused. Okay, so on these problems, the safe dose range is pretty much the safe dose range. You can't really twist that, okay? But the order is probably where it gets most confusing. So in an order, you have the drug, you have the strength of the drug, the route, and the frequency, and sometimes the duration. The frequency on there is how many times a day you would give that dose. So when it says like in divided doses every 6 hours or every 8 hours, you know that there are 24 hours in a day. You divide it by 6, and that tells you how many doses there are in a day. If it's every 8 hours, you divide 24 by 8, and that means there's 3 doses. So they usually give you 1 dose, which is that, and then this says daily. So they just get 1 dose per day. So that's where you have to look at the sauce is in the frequency and how it's ordered. Okay, so daily, and then this says day as well. All right, so micrograms per day. Now we got to figure out the most. So 12 micrograms per kilogram per day times 1 kg over 2.2 pounds, because our patient's weight is in pounds. We crossed out our kilograms, and then we've got 16 pounds over 1. Pounds crossed out. Everything has crossed out except for microgram on the top and day on the bottom. Hey, can you close my door? Thank you. All right, 12. Can you close the door? It's loud. Thank you. 12 times 16 divided by 2.2. It's going to be 87.27 micrograms per day. Okay, so 58.18, and if you have to round it, okay? I'm just picking out the first 2 decimals, all right? So this is the safe zone. So this is the safe zone, all right? Boom. Now go back to your order. This right here. So we got 0.85. Uh-oh, it turned blue. I don't know why. Okay, there. So we got milligrams, all right? So we have to change the milligrams to micrograms. Right. You got it, Cinnamon Spice. So how many micrograms is 0.85 milligrams? Pop quiz. No, I'm just kidding. Okay, so I do either mic to slight right or little to large left. So if we're going from a milligram to a microgram, you're going from a bigger unit of measure to a smaller unit of measure. So you're going from mic to slight, 3 spaces to the right. So boom, 1, 2, 3, right? Because you times that by 1,000. So it'd be 850 micrograms. So is this a safe dose? Okay, it's not, because it's way too much. Why do milligram and not microgram? Because our safe dose range is in micrograms, and then you would have to I didn't feel like converting two values versus 1, because if that's in milligrams and the rest of your stuff is in micrograms, just convert to micrograms. And now if you want to convert your micrograms to milligrams, that's fine. It's going to be the same thing, but it's still not safe. Okay? My chair is super squeaky now. Oh my gosh. All right. Any questions so far? Safe dose is not as scary as it seems. I'm not being, like, oh, it's dosage calculation. It's not hard. But no. Figure out your safe zone. Figure out if your order fits in that safe zone. That's it. I know it's a lot of letters and numbers and words and all kind of twists and turns and fluff sometimes, but that is the basis of it. What is safe, and is that order fitting in there? And then sometimes they ask you to find, like they give you the concentration of a drug, and they say if it's safe, then find how many milliliters to give for a dose. You do that the same way that you do the regular problems, okay? Because you got the hard part out the way. All right. Drug orders. Doctor orders drug B for a child that weighs 98 pounds. The safe dose range for drug B is 5 to 6.5 milligrams per kilogram per day. What is the safe dosage for this child? Okay, so we'll do the same thing that we've been doing. We take our safe dose range and we find our safety zone. So 5 milligrams per kilogram per day. Patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll do 1 kg is 2.2 pounds. That's your conversion. Crosses out, and then we'll do 98 pounds over 1 pounds, crosses out. All right, so then you have how many milligrams per day? So we'll do 5 times 98 divided by 2.2 equals 222.72 milligrams per day. Okay, so then we'll do our most amount that they can have, which is 6.5 milligrams per kilogram per day times 1 kg, 2.2 pounds, and then we'll do 98 pounds over 1. Kgs cross out, pounds crosses out. So we'll do 6.5 times 98 divided by 2.2, and that's 289.54 milligrams a day. So our safe zone is 222.72 to 289.54 milligrams in a day. Okay, our order says that drug B for a child has been drug B has been ordered. So what is the safe zone? Oh, so it hasn't even been ordered. They're just trying to figure out what's safe. So this is your answer. This would be what is safe. Okay, you don't have anything to compare it to. Sometimes they just ask you what would be considered safe. This is considered safe. Just plugging in the patient's weight, and some people like to go ahead and do the conversion. I don't like to do the conversions, because what if you do the conversion and then you don't put enough decimals behind it? Because sometimes that can greatly alter your number. And if you have done ATI, HESI, or any of those computer-based things, and it's not like the answer, like they want it to be the answer, and then like you finally get enough tries and it tells you what the answer was and it was like slightly off, then that's when it counts. Okay, so and it could change your answer indeed. So I let the math, and like I said, less steps that you take, the less mistakes you make. All right, boom. So doctor orders an IV drip for a child that weighs 78 pounds. The safe dosage range for this medicine is 5 to 20 micrograms per kilogram per minute. What is the safe dosage range for this child? So we'll do 5 micrograms per kilogram per minute. And our patient's weight is in pounds, so we'll add in our conversion, and we'll do 78 pounds. Okay, pounds crosses out, kilograms crosses out. This is going to give us microgram per minute. Okay, 5 times 78 divided by 2.2, and that's going to be 177.27 micrograms per minute. Okay, and then we'll do the most, which is going to be 20 micrograms per kilogram per minute times 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds times 78 pounds over 1. Crosses out, crosses out, crosses out. You get microgram per minute. So we'll do 20 times 78 divided by 2.2. And that's going to be 709.09 microgram per minute. Okay, so that is your answer. That's the safe dose range. Simple as it. Simple, simple, simple. Doctor orders 200 milligrams of drug M every 8 hours. The child weighs 45 pounds. The safe dosage range for this medicine is 5 to 10 milligrams per kilogram per dose. What is the safe dose range for this particular child? Okay, so if we have 5 milligrams per kg per dose times, okay, we just got 45 pounds, so 1 kilogram, 2.2 pounds. Kilograms crosses out, boom. Then we got 45 pounds over 1. Pounds crosses out. All right, so then we are left with milligrams per dose. 5 times 45 divided by 2.2 is going to be 102.27 milligrams per dose. Okay, now we'll do the most. Okay, 10 milligrams per kg per dose times 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Boom, boom. And then 45 pounds is your patient's weight. Everything crosses out, crosses out. That's the name of the game, all right? So milligram per dose, 10 times 45 divided by 2.2 is 204.54 milligrams per dose, okay? So if our patient has been ordered 200 milligrams every 8 hours, and this is our safe zone, is this a safe dose? You put that in there quick. Yes, safe. Exactly. It is a indeed safe dose. You said barely, but it counts. It counts. That's the thing. If it's at or in between, it could have been 204.49. It still would have been considered safe. I'm doing the math, girl. Yes. Is it making sense? That, I hope it makes sense, because I don't want it to be intimidating. I don't want this part of your nursing education to be intimidating, because so many people I see say, oh, I got accepted and I'm about to start in June. I'm about to start in August. Oh, I did the little stereotypical black girl pop. I'm sorry. My head itches. But, and then they come back with it, with being so happy, to then be like, oh, but I'm scared of the math. Like, no, you don't have to be scared of this math. And then, and I get it, because, we had to have the mandatory pass, fail, and all of that too. And then it was on all of our exams. And, nobody wants to fail out because of math, but this doesn't have to be scary. It don't have to be scary. And then, to my knowledge, because y'all have told me that they're not really teaching it, they're just giving you modules. And I'm like, okay, no. All right. Patient who weighs 35 kilograms has been ordered drug L, 70 milligrams Q 12 hours. Safe dose range for the drug L is 1 to 2 milligrams per kilogram per day, given once daily or divided every 12 hours. The pharmacy provides drug L oral suspension, 25 milligrams per 5 mLs. Is the order dose safe, and how many milliliters would you administer for one dose? Okay, this is probably some which y'all used to be to see. The other ones, I just kind of wanted to go through those, because as you go through them and you do them the same way every time, you get comfortable with it. You're like, okay, I got a little flow, and then you get confidence, and then you get excited, like Miss Jazzy, Miss Cinnamon Spice in the comments up there, just throwing answers in there, right? Okay, so this one, we're going to figure out if it's safe, and then if it's safe, we're going to figure out how many milliliters to give. If it's not safe, then we're going to call a doctor and say, hey, you need to try that one again, buddy. All right, so our safe dose range is that. So we'll do 1 milligram per kilogram per day, okay? What's our order? For every 12 hours. So, okay, it's the ordered dose. This one says ordered dose safe. So this dose is just 70 milligrams for one dose. This would give us the whole amount, right? So this is what I wanted to point out. So if this is the case where you're trying to figure out if one dose is safe and you got a daily amount that's in your safe dose range, look right here. It says that you can give that all at one time, or you can give it every 12 hours. So you can give this in divided doses, which is going to be 2 doses. So check what we're going to do at the end, okay? So I'm going to erase this because it's got some scribble scrabble on it. All right, 1 milligram per kg per day, all right? Then our patient's weight is in pounds. No, it's actually in kilograms. Whoop, whoop. All right, boom. So 35 kgs over 1. Kilograms crosses out. Now look, if we have day at the bottom, we need day at the top so it'll cross out, right? So remember we said in one day there are 2 doses. So this is going to give us milligram, because your days cross out, milligram per dose. So then once you figure this out, you can just take this right here because it's 70 milligrams in a dose that you have to give twice a day. Does that make sense? Because this is the kind of confusing part where it's like, I don't know what to use day. I don't know what to use for dose. And it's all confusing. Like it's saying every 12 hours. What? Okay. That's the part that if it's asking for one dose, if that's ordered, that's safe, then you use your frequency. That's how you use your frequency. Okay. All right. Boom. 1 times 35 times 1 divided by 2 is going to be 17.5. Why is this out? Milligrams per dose. Okay. So then the most is going to be 2 milligrams per kilogram in a day times 35 kilograms over 1. Your kilograms cross out. And then one day is 2 doses. Day. Boom, boom. So that's what, 70? Because 2 times 35 divided by 2 is going to be 35. So that's 35 milligrams in one dose. So if you have a dose range of 17.5 milligrams and 35 milligrams per dose, and you have what's ordered is 70, is this going to be a safe dose? Boom. I believe she's got it. I believe she's got it. It's not safe because it's too much. Okay? Hey. All right. What did I do? I don't know what I did. Okay. Calculate the dose of amoxicillin suspension in a milliliter for a child weighing 22 pounds. What about the milliliter? What milliliter? I don't care how many milliliters it is. It's not safe. I'm not finna use my good nurse brain when I gotta go and pick up this phone and say, hey, you know that order that you put in? That's not safe, buddy. Try again. So, yeah, if it's not safe, I'm not calculating the milliliter. I'm sorry. Because you see the problems that say if the dose is safe, how many milliliters you would give. All right. But you would just work it out simple. Now, I could do it. But it's just a simple flip your milliliter over, your milligrams cross out, and then, or you can even use desired or however you wanted to, because that's the simple one. All right. Calculate the dose of amoxicillin suspension in milliliter for a child weighing 22 pounds. The dose required is 40 milligrams per kilogram per day, divided twice a day, and the suspension comes in a concentration of 400 milligrams per 5 mLs. So this one is just like finding the dose with pediatrics. So before we do this one, is everybody okay with the safe dose range? Is there any questions about safe dose range? I think the latter part of this was like the weight based stuff, because that's what gets people tripped up too. So I wanted to put that in here. But if we need to do some more safe dose range where you find the ranges and see if it fits in there, we can do that too. As I eat my nerd clusters. Weight base, weight base. Those are my favorite. Oh, I love them. Woo! All right. Okay. So what do we have here? Our goal is to find milliliters. Okay. I'm going to write all of my elements that I'm going to use in my puzzle. So my puzzle pieces, I'm going to write them to the side. Okay. 40 milligrams per kg per day. Okay. And then you see right here, it says calculate the dose of milliliter. So this is telling us that it's in the whole day. So we need to look at the frequency, right? So we know that in one day, there are going to be 2 doses, because BID means twice a day. All right. So we're looking for milliliter per dose, actually, because it says calculate the dose in of the amoxicillin in milliliters. All right. Our patient weighs 22 pounds. And what else do we have here? Our concentration, 400 milligrams per 5 milliliters. If I'm looking for milliliter on the top and dose on the bottom, I'm going to start with my milliliters. That's a question that I get a lot when people say, how do you know in dimensional analysis what to use? What goes on the top? What goes on the bottom? Where do you start? Start with what you're looking for. I'm looking for milliliter, and it needs to be on the top. So I'm going to get this puzzle piece right here, and I'm going to flip it. So anything that's right here, you can flip. You can't separate it. They got to stay together. So 400 milligrams is per 5 milliliter. You can't split it up. And once you use it once, that's it. No going back, okay? So I'm going to flip it. 5 mLs over 400 milligrams, okay? I got my milligrams on the bottom, so I need my milligrams on the top, because what we need is milliliter, which we have, and dose on the bottom. So everything else has to cross out except for dose. So we'll do our 40 milligrams per kilogram per day, 40 mgs per kg per day. Milligrams crosses out, okay? Now we've got kilogram and day at the bottom. So let's address the kilograms. Our weight is in pounds, so we have to do our conversion. 1 kilogram is 2.2 pounds. Kilograms is crossed out, and now we have 22 pounds at the top to cross out with the pounds at the bottom. And then what do we have left? Day at the bottom. We need dose at the bottom. So I'll put 1 day has 2 doses in it. And then days cross out, and now we're left with milliliter per dose. So up until now, we have not done not an ounce of math. So when people say, oh, I'm not smart with math, I'm not good with math, I'm not confident, you don't have to be good with math in order to do dimensional analysis or to be successful in dosage calculation. So now we're going to take all of our numbers across the top and multiply them. So 5 times 40 times 22 divided by 400 and divided by 2.2 and divided by 2. So I got 2.5 milliliters per dose. Okay, so all the numbers across the top multiply. Once you get to that last number at the top, you hit divide. You put your numbers in the bottom, hitting divide in between. Hit that equal sign 1 time. Don't write all this stuff down, because like I said, less steps, less mistakes, okay? And you get 2.5 milliliters per dose that you're going to give to this little kid. Any questions? Any questions? ¿Tienen pregunta? Nope. Okay. Do we all have the questions about any part? Do I need to walk it back? No? All right. Calculate the dose of drug blank in milliliter for a patient weighing 37 pounds and is 97 centimeters tall. So this one is going to use the BSA, okay? That's what they use a lot of the times instead of using kilograms for your pediatrics, okay? So the required dose is 2 milligrams per meter square, and the drug comes in 1 milligram per milliliter concentration. So the first thing that we're going to do is find our BSA, and that is going to be measured in meters squared. So you're going to take the square root of the weight in kilograms times the height in centimeters divided by 3,600. You can do this in the U.S. metric measures, unit of measures, and that'll be the pounds, and your weight, your height in inches, and then divided by 31, and you take the square root of that. So either one of those. But since we have our centimeters right here, we just go ahead and convert this one. So here's the time that you want to use that 2.2 that y'all be itching to do. So we'll do 37 divided by 2.2. And that is going to be 16.81 kgs times 97 centimeters divided by 3,600. And you take the square root. So 16.81 times 97 divided by 3,600 equals, and then you hit the square root. So it's going to be m squared equals 0.67. Okay. So now the order says that the dosage required is 2 milligrams per meter squared, and we are trying to find what? The milliliters. So let's see if I can put this right here. Milliliters. So we have what? 2 mgs per meter squared. And what else do we have? The drug concentration, 1 mg per milliliter. Okay. So if we're looking for milliliter, what do we start with? What we're looking for, milliliter. So I'll take this piece right here and I'll flip it. 1 milliliter over 1 milligram. Okay. My milligrams are at the bottom. So then I need this, my milligrams, to cross out. So 2 milligrams per meter squared. And then milligrams crosses out. And then my meter squared is 0.67 meters squared. Oh, I'm running into stuff. All right, meters squared. All right, and so your meter squared crossed out. So somebody probably never did meter squared before, or you used to using kilograms or used to using pounds. So you see, with dimensional analysis, it could be anything. As long as it's on the top and it's on the bottom and they line up and cross out and you get to where you're going, that's all you got to do. Okay? So 2 times 0.67, and that's divided by 1, divided by 1, divided by 1, which is going to be 1.34 milliliters. And if you rounded it to the nearest tenths, it'll be 1.3 milliliters that you would give. Now, this one was a little long because you had to find the BSA. But does anybody have any questions about the BSA and how we did this one? Can we work those on Sunday? Yeah, I think I got one more too. Let me write it down before I forget. Lord, you reign. Lord, you reign. First time with BSA. Yeah, how you like it? It's not bad. You just gotta know the formula for it. BSA peds problems. Cool. That's what I like to hear. Thumbs up or C. Can't hear a thumb go up. All right. So boom. Let's do this one. Calculate the dose of a drug in milliliters for a patient weighing 50 pounds and is 110 centimeters tall. Thank you for the likes. Yeah, y'all like, share. Let them know. Let them know. Let them know. All right, the dose required is 5.5 milligrams per meter squared, and the drug comes in 10 milligrams per 5 ml concentration. All right, so we're going to do it the same way that we just did this other one, okay? So I'll write our formula for BSA. And that's going to be meters squared equals the square root of your weight in kilograms times your height in centimeters divided by 3,600. Okay, so we already got our centimeters. Let's do 50 divided by 2.2. And that's going to be 22.72. So we'll do square root of 22.72 kgs times 110 centimeters divided by 3,600. So 22.72 times 110 divided by 3,600 equals, and then hit the square root button. So meter squared is going to be 0.83. Okay, yes. All right, boom. So now, what are we looking for? What is our goal? The dose in milliliters. So basically milliliters per dose. All right. And what do we have? It says our dose required is 5.5 milligrams per meter squared. And then we have our concentration is 10 milligrams per 5 ml. Okay. So, boom, 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 boom. If we're looking for milliliters, we start with milliliters. 5 ml, 10 milligrams. Then we got our milligrams on the bottom. We need the milligrams on the top. And we have our meter squared on the bottom. All right. So then we'll take our meter squared that we found right here. 0.83 meters squared over 1. And that crosses out. And that's basically going to give you your milliliter per dose. 5 times 5.5 times 0.83 divided by 10. And that's going to be 2.28. If we rounded this to the nearest tenths, it would be 2.3 mLs. I always like to do that again, just to make sure. Just to make sure. Yep, that's what I got. Yep. So yeah. Oh, you learned something new tonight. I'm excited. So excited. Alright, boom. Calculate the dose of drug F in milliliters for a patient weighing 28 kilograms. The dose required is 100 milligrams per kilogram per day, given IV once daily. And the drug comes in the concentration of 400 milligrams per milliliter. So this is another weight-based problem, right? So it says to calculate the dose in milliliters. So our goal is going to be milliliter per dose, right? For a patient weighing 28 pounds. So that's the weight, PPP, patient prescription product. And our prescription is this. So 100 milligrams per kg per day. And just once daily. So that's the frequency, just once a day. So then the concentration is 400 milligrams per milliliter. Okay. We're looking for milliliter, so we'll start with our milliliters, okay? So we're going to flip this one. So we'll do milliliter over 400 milligrams, okay? Then we got milligrams on the bottom. We need milligrams at the top. 100 milligrams per kg per day. Milligrams crosses out, okay? Now we got our patient's weight. It's already in kgs, so we'll just do 28 kilograms over 1. And crosses out. And so that's going to be how many milliliters per day, right? Boom. So now we're finished. That's my little 2-year-old says, all done. All right. 100 times 28 divided by 400 is going to be 7 milliliters. Yep. Look at you, cinnamon spice. You on a roll, ain't it? Provider has ordered drug A. Did I do this? Yep. It saved twice. My bad. All right, so that was the end of that. Yeah, these are the ones that we already did. Okay, so how are we feeling? What's going on? Are we a little bit more confident with peds, safe dose, and using the pediatric BSA to find your weight problems, and just using dimensional analysis to do weight-based problems? Because that's all that it is to it. Ain't nothing to it but to do it. Do we need to do some more safe dose problems? I feel like we got done so quickly. She said, I like it. Don't forget that you can look at the replay that's on YouTube under A Blessed RN, the same handle. It will be weight based. It will be available right after we get done. Yep. All right. Left in the bag. Okay, that's cool. Hey, Auntie. All right. 4 tasks, 50 milligrams per kilogram by mouth 3 times a day to a child who weighs 25.5 kg. I love you too, girl. 4 tasks is available in oral suspension labeled 100 milligrams per milliliter. How many milliliters would the nurse administer per dose? Okay. So, look. This right here. This right here. Why is it not writing? Let's try to get this right here. Is just 1 dose, okay? Because it says 50 milligrams per kilogram by mouth 3 times a day. So sometimes when it doesn't have like that /day or /minute or /dose on there, you have to read the rest of the order and determine, okay, this is how much this is one time, but it's 3 times a day. So that's for 1 dose right there, okay? So we are looking for milliliter per dose. So we have our 50 milligrams per kg. And I'm going to add dose on there because that's 1 dose, right? 1 dose. Boom. And then our weight is 25.5 kgs. And our concentration is this. All right. So I'm looking for milliliter. I'm going to start with milliliter. So I'll take this puzzle piece and I'll flip it. Boom. Just like that. Now we've got milligram at the bottom. We need milligram at the top. So I'll take this puzzle piece right here. Boom. Kg per dose. And milligrams cross out. Now I've got kilograms on the bottom and dose on the bottom. I need to get rid of those kilograms. My patient's weight is already in kilograms, so I don't have to put in a conversion. And then I'll put that over 1 because it's right by itself. It's not with anything else. Kilograms crosses out. And so now I have milliliter per dose. So now we can do our math. 50 times 25.5 divided by 100. And that's going to be 12.75 mLs. Or if you rounded this to the nearest tenth, it would be 12.8. If you rounded it to the nearest whole number, it would be 13 mLs. So depending on whatever it is that you're taking a test on gives you for the instructions, that's what you follow. Okay? All right. Let's look. I want a hard one. I want to do a hard one. That's not hard. Okay, let's see. That's not hard either. Oh, no. Let's see. Let's do this one. Okay. Dopamine drip. All right, your critical drips in the IC of the U. Dopamine drip at 3 mics per kilogram per minute has been ordered. The label on the bag reads 800 milligrams and 250 mLs of 5% dextrose. Calculate the flow rate in milliliter per hour if the patient weighs 100 kilograms. Okay, so this one is an IV problem, but it's weight based. Okay, so what is it that we are looking for? We are looking for milliliter per hour. So that is our goal. Boom, milliliter on the top, hour on the bottom. So what are our puzzle pieces that we're using? Okay, patient, prescription, product. 3 things that you're looking for, right? So boom, patient's weight is 100 kgs. Our prescription is 3 micrograms per kilogram per minute. And then our medicine, which is our product, is 800 milligrams and 250 mLs of dextrose, 5%. We're looking for milliliter, so we're going to start with milliliter. We're going to take this puzzle piece and flip it. 250 ml over 800 milligrams. Then look, this is in micrograms. You can't put a microgram on top of a milligram and expect for it to cancel out, right? It's got to be the same unit of measure. So therefore, we'll have to put in a conversion. So we know that we got milligrams on the top because we need those to cancel out, and we got microgram on the bottom. 1 microgram is 1 milligram. I'm sorry, I misspoke. 1 milligram is 1,000 micrograms. So now your milligrams crosses out. The 1 goes by the biggest unit of measure, because think about it. You take 1,000 crumbs to make 1 big cookie, right? Yeah, it works in my mind. All right, so now we've got micrograms at the bottom. We need micrograms at the top. So 3 micrograms is per kilogram per minute. Micrograms crosses out. All right, now we have our patient's weight to take care of. So we use that, then we got our 100 kgs. Put it over 1, your kilograms crosses out, and now we have minutes on the bottom. We need hours on the bottom. So we'll do 60 minutes over 1 hour. Minutes crosses out, and boom, milliliter per hour. Hey, turn up. So now we can do our calculation. Multiply all of your values across the top. Once you get to 60, hit divide. And then all your values in the bottom, you hit divide in between. So we'll do 250. Oh, I had already put 250 in there. Okay, clear it out. 250 times 3 times 100 times 60. Hit divide. And then we'll hit 800 and then divide 1,000, and the rest of it is 1. So I'm not putting it in, so I'll hit the equal sign. Okay, and then I have 5.625 milliliters per hour. So 5.6 milliliters an hour. I need to tighten up my chair. Oh, thank you, T, for the rose. I appreciate it. I didn't even see it. We'll do one more of these, and then we'll do the infusion stuff with the left in the bag. Okay? All right. Because these are my favorite. I see them and I'm like, I gotta solve it. I gotta do it. All right. Drug A, 7 micrograms per kilogram per minute, is ordered as a continuous drip for a patient who weighs 75 pounds. Well, sorry, kilograms. Calculate the flow rate using the IV pump if the label reads 1,000 milligrams and 200 milliliters. All right. So our goal is milliliter per hour. And you know how I know that? Because it says the flow rate using the IV pump. When you see IV pump, know that that's going to be milliliter per hour. If it was drops per minute, then you would be given your drop factor. Okay, so we're doing milliliters per hour. Patient, prescription, product. So 75 kgs, and our prescription is 7 mics per kg per minute, and then our medicine is available in 1,000 milligrams and 200 milliliters, okay? So we're looking for milliliters. We're going to flip it and put our mLs on the top. Over 1,000 milligrams. Remember, in our order, we have micrograms. You can't cancel out a microgram on top of a milligram. So therefore, we need to do our conversion right here. So milligram on the top, microgram at the bottom. 1 milligram is 1,000 mics. Milligrams crosses out. Okay. Now we've got micrograms, so we'll use this 7 micrograms per kg per minute. Microgram crosses out, and now we have our patient's weight, which is your kgs, 75 kg over 1. The kilograms cross out, and now we have minute at the bottom. We need hour at the bottom. So we'll do 60 minutes is in 1 hour. 60 minutes, your minutes crossed out, and then you're left with your answer, okay? 200 times 7 times 75 times 60. You see how long that number is? Oh my gosh. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. That's 5 zeros. What if you only put 4 zeros in there? And you know a zero can make a difference. Divide 1,000. Divide 1,000. It's going to be 6.3 milliliters per hour. Yep. All right, let's see. IV infusion time. Ooh. Oh, thank you. Thank you so much. I appreciate the gifts. All right, the doctor orders a 250 ml bag of IV normal saline to be infused at 20 drops per minute. Drip factor is 10 drops per ml. You start the infusion at 15:30. At what time will the infusion be complete? So when we do these problems, we're looking for the time, okay? So time is going to be hours, okay? Because if you look for the hours and you get a number with a decimal behind it, right? The whole part of the number is going to be your hours. The numbers behind the decimal is going to be your minutes. All right. So what do we have here? We have a 250 ml bag. Okay. And then we have it to go at 20 drops per minute. Okay. Cool. Then our drop factor is 10 drops per ml. Okay. And we need to find hours. Okay. Where the hours at? Nowhere to be found. So therefore, we can still start with it. Okay. So I know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. Okay. So then what has minutes in it? This does. So remember, I can flip it to how I need it to be. So I'll do minute over 20 drops. Boom, boom. So I use that. Now I got drops on the bottom. I need drops on the top. So I'll use this one. So 10 drops per milliliter. My drops cancel out. Now I've got milliliters, and I'll use this 250 ml over 1. And now we are just left with the hours. So that's going to give me my time. So it'll be 10 times 250 divided by 60 divided by 20. And that's going to be 2.083333 repeating hours. Okay. So remember, this part is the hour part. This part is the minute part. We need to see, like, I don't know what 0.08 of an hour is. So therefore, we'll take the 0.08 and multiply it by 60 because there are 60 minutes in an hour. So 0.08 times 60. It's going to be 4.8. So we're going to round that to 5. So it's going to take 2 hours and 5 minutes. Okay. So if this starts at 15:30 and we have 2 hours and 5 minutes, we add this time together. So this is your minute side. This is your hour side. I got 35 minutes over here, and I got 17:35. So it will be completed at 5:35 in the evening. How do you like those apples? It ain't nothing but a puzzle. I don't know who asked me earlier, can you solve every dosage calculation problem with dimensional analysis? You see, we just did peds and weight based, and now we're on IV stuff, and we're doing the same steps. The same thing. You find what you're looking for, what the question is asking you to find. You identify the puzzle pieces or relationships, whatever you want to call them, on the side, and then you just flip flop and cross out and whatever it is that you do until you bebop on through and get to what it is that is asking you. So what if the time goes to 2500? You minus 2400. So okay, so there's only 24 hours in the day. So if it was like one of those, I kind of break it apart. So like let me see. Now I gotta think for real. Okay. So let's say it started at 2300 and it was to go for 2 hours and 30 minutes. So what I would do is I take 1 hour from this. All right. And so if I put 1 hour, that's going to be your 2400, which is midnight. Right. Midnight also is 0000. Okay. So then I still have 1 hour and 30 minutes left. So 1 hour, 30 minutes left plus 0000 is going to be 130. So if it's like that, you can kind of break it apart. And that's like if it's like with the minutes too. So like say it was like 40 minutes, like something in 40 minutes, and you have how many hours in your 30 minutes, add them 20 minutes, bump it up to the next hour, and then go back in and add the rest of the minutes that you have left over. You can break it apart like that. Yeah. Yeah. All right. Here's another drop factor one. I like the ones with the drop factors on there. Okay. So the doctor orders a 1,000 ml bag of IV normal saline to be infused at 60 drops a minute. Drop factor is 10 drops per ml. You started at 1330. What time will the infusion be complete? Were these the type of problems that you were talking about? I just went ahead and did it. And I don't think, is this what you were talking about? While you're answering me, I'm just going to go ahead and answer this one. All right. So let's see. We have to find hours. And we have a 1,000 ml bag and 60 drops per minute. Drop factor is 10 drops per ml. Okay. So boom. We are looking for hours. We don't have hours. We have minutes. But we can put hours because we know that 1 hour is 60 minutes. All right, minutes at the bottom, need minutes at the top. I'm going to get this one, minute, and then I flopped it, okay? My minutes crossed out. And then our drops are at the bottom, so I need my drops at the top. So 10 drops per milliliter. Drops crossed out. Now we got milliliter at the bottom. I need milliliter at the top. 1,000 milliliters over 1. Your milliliters crossed out. And now you're left with just your hours. So we can do 10 times 1,000 divided by 60 divided by 60. And that's going to be 2.7 repeating. So remember, this is your minutes. This is your hours. So I'll take everything behind the decimal and multiply it by 60. So 0.77 times 60. It's going to be 46.2, so 46 minutes. So it'll be 2 hours and 46 minutes. If we start, oh, this is a good one. This is one that we were just talking about, how I was like talking about how the minutes kind of look funky. And like if you're adding it together, it's going to like spill into the next column. So like this one, 1330. and you got 2 hours and 46 minutes. So I'm going to take 30 minutes from here. So what's going to be left is 16. So I'm going to add 30 minutes, right? So that's going to be what, 1400. And then if I got 2 hours and 16 minutes left, then it's going to be 16. Aha. And that's how you do it. I'm so excited for y'all. I really want y'all to pass dosage and med-surg and maternal and psych and peds and all of that stuff. All of it. Because, yeah. Thank you for liking the lives. All right, boom. So this one is like one with the milliliter per hour part on there. So there is 450 mLs remaining in the bag. The IV is infusing at 75 milliliters per hour. How much longer will the IV run? I think this one is the one you were talking about. I'm sorry. I got them all kind of confumbled. So if we are looking for our answer in hours and minutes, our goal, remember, is to find hours, okay? Boom. So what we'll do is we'll write what we have. 450 mLs is in the bag. It's going at 75 milliliters per hour. We want hours, right? So we'll use this. Flip it. Hour over 75 milliliter. We got milliliters at the bottom. Put your milliliters at the top. 450 mLs over 1 milliliter by 75. It's going to be 6 hours and 000 minutes. Boom. Boom, 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 pow. Boom, 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 pow, pow. Bow, 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 bow. And just like that, you got 100 on your dosage cow. You know what I'm saying? And I love it. And then you get on Work It Out Wednesday, and you be like, oh, I passed. And I be like, woo, woo. You know? And that's it. That one was so simple. Yeah. And you know, in the words of our dear friend Lauren Hill, it could all be so simple. But you rather make it hard. It could all be so simple. Yep, could be. Rather make it hard. At the change of shift, you know there's 200 mLs left to count in the IV bag. The IV is infusing at 80 milliliters per hour. How much longer will the IV run? Yep, it's practice, right? Doing them over and over again, using the same steps, the same exact way. Every single problem you see that I do it the same way. We're going to read it. We're going to find what our goal is. And then we're going to find our puzzle pieces, because when you write it out to the side, then you don't have to go back and, fumble through the problem with all those words and all that other stuff. You see, okay, I got this, and this. This is what I have to work with. And I can flip this and I can cross this out. And that's it. Okay? So we can do, our goal is to find hours. All right? So we've got 200 milliliters left in the bag. And it's infusing at 80 milliliters per hour. We have a goal. Hey, Bermina. It's okay. You can check out the replay. It's all right. So our goal is 80. Our goal is 80. Our goal is hour. So we'll take this and we flip it. Hour over 80 milliliter. Okay? Boom. So then we have milliliters at the bottom. We need milliliters at the top. 200 milliliters over 1. All right, and now we're left with hours. So 200 divided by 80 is going to be 2.5. If you do 0.5 times 60, that is going to equal 30 minutes. So this is going to be 2 hours and 30 minutes. And my chair is really squeaky. I don't like that. Okay, there we go. I fixed it. No. Oh, no. Did we do that one? Okay. patient is ordered an IV of 1,000 mLs of normal saline over 8 hours. At what rate would you set the IV pump in milliliters per hour? And how many drops per minute would you set the gravity tube in with a drop factor of 15 drops per ml? If the current IV bag was started at 1 o'clock, I love 1 o'clock, don't it? Okay. What time would you hang the next bag? Alrighty. So here we go. The first part is asking for milliliter per hour. So you've got 1,000 milliliters over 8 hours. So that's going to be 125 milliliters per hour. Okay. If we want to do the drops per minute, that's what let me see. Let me write it out for us. Let me write it out. So that's 125 milliliter per hour. So if we were wanting to do the drops per minute now, you have your 1,000 ml over 8 hours, and you have your drop factor of 15 drops per milliliter. So you do your 15 drops per milliliter times your 1,000 mLs over 8 hours. Cross it out. Now we've got hours at the bottom. You need your minutes. So we'll do 1 hour is 60 minutos. Okay. 15 times 1,000 divided by 8 divided by 60. It's going to be 31.25. But I ain't never, ever walked in the kitchen and see, oh, that's a quarter of a drop right there. It's either a drop or it's not one. So you have to round it to the nearest whole number, okay? So it'll be 31 drops per minute. Okay, so that's part A. So then it says, if the bag was started at 1 o'clock, what time will the next bag run? What time would you have to hang the next bag? So basically, we're looking for hours. We are looking for time. So goal is going to be hours. So we can use our rate that we figured out, right? So if you've got 1,000 mLs in your bag and it's going at 125 milliliters per hour, we're looking for hours. So I'm going to flip this hour over 125 ml. And then we have 1,000 ml over 1. Milliliters cross out. 1,000 divided by 125. It's going to be 8 hours. So if it started at 1,300 and you add 8 hours to that, the next time you would have to hang a bag should be 9 o'clock that night. Okay, y'all. So how we feeling? Understood. Yeah. Well, it was so much fun to break down pediatric dosing, weight, and all of that jazz tonight. If you came in on the session late, don't fret. You can go to the replay that will be available